Today we're diving into a fascinating topic that I'm sure many of you can relate to. Why are men so lost and confused today? Before you jump to any conclusions, let's be clear that we're not here to point fingers or blame anybody. Instead, we're going to explore some surprising and specific factors that contribute to this phenomenon and offer some real, actionable strategies that can help us navigate the chaos of the modern world. So buckle up, folks, because you're about to take a wild ride through the minds of today's men. Number 6, the ever-changing role of men. The good old days, when being a man was as simple as hunting down a woolly mammoth, providing for the family, and protecting the cave from saber-toothed tigers. But here we are in the 21st century, and things have gotten a little more complicated. The role of men has shifted dramatically over the years, and it's not just about trading in spears for smartphones. The expectations surrounding masculinity have evolved, and that has left a lot of guys scratching their heads, wondering what it means to be a man today. Once upon a time, a man's purpose was clear-cut: be the breadwinner, the strong, silent type, and the fearless protector. But now, society is asking men to be more in touch with their emotions, to take on more equal roles in relationships, and to contribute to household chores. You know, the glamorous stuff like scrubbing toilets and folding laundry. It's like we've gone from Tarzan to Mr. Clean overnight. With so many expectations and mixed messages, it's no wonder guys are feeling lost, trying to figure out where they fit in this new world order. So how can men navigate this ever-changing landscape without losing themselves in the process? Well, it starts with some introspection and a willingness to challenge old stereotypes. It's time to redefine what it means to be a man in today's society, and that means embracing the whole spectrum of human experiences. Yes, even the parts that might have been considered unmanly in the past. It's about breaking free from the outdated molds and finding the courage to forge a new path, one that celebrates the unique strengths and qualities each individual has to offer. So let's roll up our sleeves and dive into this brave new world of modern masculinity. Just be careful not to chip a nail. Number 5, the Great Disconnect. All right, folks, let's talk about something that's taken over our lives: the digital world. It's a bit ironic, isn't it? We're more connected than ever before, yet we feel more isolated and disconnected from our fellow human beings. Instead of sharing a beer with a buddy or engaging in face-to-face conversations, we're giving our undivided attention to our screens. But hey, who needs real human connection when you've got likes and retweets, right? Now let's talk about male bonding. Remember when guys used to hang out, watch the game, and talk about their feelings? Or maybe not the feelings part, but you get the idea. These days, most bonding happens through texts, memes, and the occasional emoji. You know, the one with the laughing so hard I'm crying face that we send when we're actually staring blankly at our screens. It's like we're living in some weird dystopian novel where people forgot how to interact with each other. But fear not, my friends, because there's still hope. We can break free from the digital chains that bind us and rediscover the magic of good old-fashioned male bonding. So go ahead, put down that phone, close that laptop, and for the love of all that is holy, turn off those darn notifications. And then, do something wild and crazy, like having a real conversation with a friend. Number 4, the pressure cooker of expectations. Now, the expectations. Aren't they just the best? From the moment you're born, society, your parents, and even your own inner critic start piling on the expectations like it's some kind of all-you-can-eat buffet. But what happens when men can't keep up with this smorgasbord of shoulds and musts? Let's delve into the impact of these pressures and how we can escape their grip without going bonkers. Picture this. Little Timmy is born, and his parents have already mapped out his entire life for him. He's going to be a doctor, marry the girl next door, and have 2 kids. But what if Timmy grows up and realizes he wants to be a painter or, heaven forbid, a stand-up comedian? The dissonance between expectations and reality can create a soul-crushing sense of failure. Poor Timmy. So what's the solution here? Are we supposed to toss all expectations out the window and live in a world of anarchy? Not exactly. It's all about striking a balance between striving for success and being true to ourselves, and maybe giving ourselves permission to disappoint others every once in a while. After all, it's your life, not a Lifetime movie scripted by your parents and society. Number 3, The impact of social media on self-worth. Yeah, let's take a deep dive into the twisted and fascinating world of social media. We all know that the online universe can be a magical place filled with cute cat videos, hilarious memes, and endless distractions. But on the flip side, it can also be a dark abyss that sucks us into a never-ending cycle of comparison and self-doubt. Now picture this. You're scrolling through your Instagram feed, and suddenly, you're bombarded with images of ripped, shirtless dudes with six-packs, beach vacations, and extravagant lifestyles. It's enough to make even the most confident person question their life choices. We live in a world where carefully curated images of perfection are shoved in our faces, and it's only natural that men are starting to feel the pressure to keep up with the Joneses, or rather, the Kardashians. The reality is, though, that most of these perfect lives are just smoke and mirrors, and comparing ourselves to them is like trying to win a race against a cheetah. It's impossible, and we're bound to feel inadequate. But fear not, my friends, because there's hope. Instead of letting social media get the best of us, we can use it to our advantage. First and foremost, remember that what you see online is only a small, filtered fraction of someone's life. It's not the whole story. So instead of comparing your behind the scenes with their highlight reel, focus on your journey and personal growth. Next, be mindful of who you follow and the content you consume. If someone's posts make you feel like garbage, it's time to hit that unfollow button. Surround yourself with positivity and inspiration, and watch your self-worth soar. Finally, take breaks from social media and spend time connecting with real people. You know, the ones made of flesh and bones, not pixels. Number 2, the fear of vulnerability. Yes, I said it, vulnerability, the big scary V word. It's like kryptonite for a lot of guys out there. They'd rather wrestle a bear or jump out of a plane without a parachute than admit they're feeling a little, vulnerable. So, what's the deal? Why is showing vulnerability more terrifying than facing an MMA fighter in the octagon? First off, let's take a look at society's expectations of men. It's no secret that men are often expected to be stoic, strong, and unemotional. You know, the whole man-up mentality that has been drilled into our brains for generations. But here's the thing, folks. Emotions are human, and men are, last time I checked, still human. So when men feel like they can't express their emotions without being seen as weak, it creates a toxic cycle that prevents them from experiencing the full spectrum of human emotions. And that, my friends, is a real bummer. Now for the million-dollar question, how do we break this cycle? Well, it's time for men to step up and embrace their emotions. No more hiding, no more pretending. To be clear, I'm not talking about sobbing uncontrollably at every sunset or turning into a melodramatic mess. I'm talking about acknowledging emotions, processing them, and expressing them in a healthy way. Trust me, it's not as terrifying as it sounds. In fact, embracing vulnerability can lead to deeper connections, greater understanding, and, dare I say it, a more satisfying life. So let's drop the macho act and start embracing our inner emotional warriors. Who's with me? Number 1, the illusion of control. Most men want to feel like they got a handle on everything, from the finances, relationships, to which brand of toothpaste to use. But here's the kicker. Control is nothing more than an illusion, a mirage in the desert of life that we're constantly chasing but can never truly grasp. Why do we even try to control everything? Well, it probably has something to do with our fear of the unknown. You know, that pesky little voice in the back of our heads that says, hey, if you don't micromanage every aspect of your life, who knows what kind of chaos will ensue? The problem is, the more we try to control, the more we end up feeling like we're on a never-ending hamster wheel of stress and anxiety. Not exactly the picture of a calm, collected man, is it? Now, I know it's hard to accept, but the truth is that life is full of uncertainties. And rather than desperately clinging to the illusion of control, we need to embrace the unknown and learn to go with the flow. I'm not saying you should throw caution to the wind and become a reckless maniac. I'm talking about finding the sweet spot between taking charge of your life and accepting that some things are simply beyond your control. It's time to loosen our grip on that steering wheel and let the journey of life take us where it will. So there you have it. If you found this video helpful, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. As always, thank you for watching, and until next time.